Jiang Qian crossed the Douluo continent and completed the fire god examination before the age of 20, inheriting the throne. But God's life is long and boring, and the divine realm is full of shining dog food everywhere. On top are the sea god Tang San's black hearts pressed, and below are hundreds of God's people's trivial matters. Jiang Qian has had enough of these days. He also wants to fall in love. He's also going to flash around. Ding! Congratulations on the host binding cultivation system. I will take you back to the mainland and achieve a better life. Keywords of the novel. Douluo. I had become a god before coming to the system. No pop-ups, Douluo. I had become a god before coming to the system. Download the complete set of TXT, Douluo. I have become a god before coming to the system. Latest chapter reading. Chapter 1. Is it you? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Is it you? Douluo Continent, Divine Realm. Hey, it's really boring. When will these days come to an end? Jiang Qian lay on a vast expanse of immortal grassland, looking bored at the sky, with a strong sense of regret in his heart. He is a traveler who crossed the continent of Douluo over 40 years ago. In just 20 years, he achieved a goal that others would never reach in their lifetime. Becoming a god. Jiang Qian is now a first-level god in the divine realm. The fire god. As a esteemed deity, Jiang Qian's position in the divine realm goes without saying. Although not above all gods, he is also respected by gods, and his subordinates lead hundreds of second or third-level gods. But Jiang Qian has had enough of this kind of life. Every day, either dealing with the disputes at hand or being bored and daydreaming. He couldn't even figure out the significance of his previous effort to become a god. If I had known it would be like this now, Jiang Qian would have had to start dating first. Who set the rules for breaking these rules? Once I come to the divine realm, I won't be allowed to go down. How can I feel the beauty of divine life? Jiang Qian finally knows now why the sea god and Shura god are so anxious to find a successor. Don't think about it, the reason is definitely not much different from Jiang Qian. Ah, if only we could go down again. Ding. Host detected, system activated. What the hell? System. The sudden sound startled Jiang Qian's heart. Ding. The strongest cultivation system has been bound. Congratulations to the host. The strongest cultivation system. Big brother, are you here to be funny? I have become a god, who are you here to cultivate? Ding. Start the host beginner task. Task 1. Please immediately go to Shrek College to register and pass the assessment to become a new student. Task completion reward. Soul power increased by 10 levels, task failed. Erase the host. Jiang Qian looked at the system panel that suddenly appeared in his mind and fell into silence. Okay. If you want me to die in the system, just agree on it. Why bother with this whole thing? Even though you know I've become a god and can't leave the divine realm, you're still doing this. Besides, I don't care about your level 10 soul power. If you erase it, just erase it. Anyway, I have enough of this boring life. Whoever loves to live will live it. Jiang Qian just wants to laugh at this moment. Yes, it's just ridicule. You only came to the system after labor and capital became gods. Why did you go earlier? If this system had arrived earlier, could the current master of the divine realm be Tang San? If Jiang Qian had a system back then, he would have gone to join the Martial Soul Hall and smashed Tang San with Bibi Dong and the others. If the system had arrived earlier, he wouldn't have been practicing tirelessly in order to become a god, and he wouldn't have been like this now, still a single dog. Jiang Qian doesn't want to take care of it anymore. Anyway, he can't go down either. If the system wants to erase it, just erase it. Ding. It has been detected that the host's world is not Douluo continent, and the system will forcibly transfer the host's location. Please be prepared. Transfer countdown starts. 10, 9, 8. What did you just say? Now it's Jiang Chen's turn to be confused. Can this thing still help him leave here? So it didn't say it earlier. If you can leave here, why bother playing around? A brand new life is about to begin now. Ding. Transfer begins. With the sound of the system falling, Jiang Chen's whole body was shrouded in a white light. The next second, he appeared in a forest. Surrounded by towering ancient trees, there are occasional roars of beasts, and the air is much more turbid than in the divine realm. It's really Douluo continent, my Jiang Chen has returned. Jiang Chen was extremely excited at this moment, and the boring life that was once so extreme finally came to an end. Isn't Jiang Chen doing whatever he wants now? By the way, we still need to complete the system tasks first. Jiang Chen doesn't want a beautiful life to just start and end again. I think, I have been in the divine realm for 27 years, and then Douluo continent has passed for almost 10,000 years. Jiang Chen's eyes suddenly lit up, as if he had thought of something. If Jiang Chen remembers correctly, aren't Hui Yuhao and Wang Dong just figures of this era? If they were there, wouldn't those characters in the original work also be there? Snow Emperor, Jiang Nannan, Ma Xiaotao, Wang Qiuer, Dream Red Dust, and so on. As soon as Jiang Chen thought of these, he felt that the future was incredibly beautiful and bright. Children make choices, adults have already begun to take action. Could you please leave the website address? Oh no, Jiang Chen has already started moving towards the location of Shrek College. As the god of fire, he naturally wouldn't walk so slowly. At his level, he can already control the power of nature as he pleases. Two flames appeared under his feet, and without saying a word, he lifted Jiang Chen into the air. He looked around and his thoughts began to spread outward from him. Is it so close? Before Jiang Chen could put in any effort, he realized that Shrek College was just 5,000 meters east of him. But that's just right, it saved Jiang Chen a lot of trouble. He was also too lazy to leave ink, so he immediately restrained his breath and flew towards the position at the entrance of the college. Today is the registration day for Shrek College, where many talents from mainland China gather in order to pass the assessment and successfully enroll. But Jiang Chen doesn't plan to take the ordinary road. After all, he is already in his 40s, so he can't take the ordinary road either. And if you want to enter the college, you not only need to pass the assessment, but also have a letter of recommendation from the city lord, which is too troublesome. Jiang Chen is too lazy to do that. For this, Jiang Chen came up with an extremely convenient method. After Jiang Chen arrived at the entrance of the college, he did not stand at the registration office, but instead found an open space to stand. Immediately afterwards, he released his divine power again and in an instant, locked Moon's position. Come out, I'll wait for you at the admissions office. Jiang Chen uses divine teleportation, and it is easy to achieve these goals. As long as he has strong spiritual power, he can also achieve the title Douluo. But in order to accurately pinpoint the position of Muan, the 99th level title Douluo, and ensure that it is not discovered by others, only Jiang Chen can do this on the mainland now. In no time, an old man in a white robe with a hunched figure slowly descended from the air. His gaze swept around the entrance for a few seconds, and soon he locked onto Jiang Chen's position. This entrance is mostly filled with students who have come to register, and only Jiang Chen looks more prominent. He slowly flew up to Jiang Chen and asked, "Are you looking for me?" Muan frowned, clearly unable to tell Jiang Chen's purpose and background. "That's right, I want to make a deal with you." Jiang Chen nodded brightly without any ink stains. "Transaction." "What transaction?" Moon stared at Jiang Chen, feeling that the young man in front of him was becoming even more mysterious. He couldn't detect any soul power from Jiang Chen, but the spiritual power just now was so powerful that it was terrifying. What was this all about? I want to enroll in Shrek College in exchange. When you die, I will help you protect this place. How about it? Jiang Chen is not a cure, otherwise he would have taken action to help Muan heal his injury. Anyway, he should also stay in the college for a long time to pick up girls in the future. This condition is about sprinkling water. But how can Moon know Jiang Chen's strength? Inexplicably asking him to say such things, is this a brainwave? Just rely on you. End of this chapter. I can tell at a glance in chapter 2 that you are not a man. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I can tell at a glance in chapter 2 that you are not a man. Ha! Jiang Chen smiled, it seems that I still need to prove my strength. How to prove it? Moon frowned even deeper, feeling that something bad was about to happen. It's very simple, I'll take you to a place first. Divine skill. The prison of molten fire. As soon as Jiang Chen finished speaking, the world in Muan's eyes had already changed. At some point, he was unexpectedly taken by Jiang Chen to a lava field surrounded by a volcano. His feet were filled with scorching magma, with no foothold, and the air was filled with unbearable high temperatures. In theory, at his level, even if he goes to the far north bare-handed, he will not feel any coldness. But why did he sweat profusely after just a few seconds here, and even feel like his entire body was about to be melted? This is the space I created with divine power. In this space, all gods, humans, and beasts except myself will be suppressed. The lower the divine power, the higher the suppression effect. People like you who have never possessed divine power are basically no different from ordinary people here. If I were to knock you down now, you would instantly turn into flying ash. After speaking, Jiang Chen waved his hand casually, and the two of them returned to the entrance of Shrek College once again. Now, do you believe me? Jiang Chen looked at Muan calmly and asked. Who the hell are you? God. Muan frowned tightly. The psychological impact of the scene just now was too great for him. He didn't expect that there would be people like Jiang Chen on this continent, isn't it? Is Jiang Chen really human? The first-level god in the divine realm, the fire god, abbreviated as the fire god, my name is Jiang Chen. Have you enjoyed working together? Jiang Chen extended his right hand and smiled as he looked at Muan, waiting for his answer. Fire god. Moon pondered for a moment, his face full of confusion, but when he looked up again, his eyes were full of determination. Okay, I agree to your transaction, but after that, I have many more questions to ask you, can I? Well, it's possible. But it shouldn't be too troublesome, and it's best not to expose my identity. I don't want to ruin my campus life like this. That's also why Jiang Chen had to hide his breath and only found Muan. If my identity is exposed too early, how can I pretend to be forced? How to pick up girls? What I didn't enjoy as a traveler before, Jiang Xia needs to enjoy it this time. Since that's the case, then you can accompany me to the college to chat. Moon did not object to Jiang Chen's request. After all, if Jiang Chen wanted to do something, he could not stop him. So Moon took Jiang Chen to complete the enrollment registration and walked him towards the dormitory. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully enrolling in Shrek Academy, completing system tasks, and rewarding a 10-level increase in soul power. Ding! Reward distribution failed. The reward has been automatically converted into system mall points for you, and the total number of points is now 100. Oh. Is there a system mall? Can this useless reward still be converted? Interesting. Let's go check out what's inside this system later. Do you have anything to do when you come to our Shrek College? Suddenly, Moon spoke as he walked. No, it's just that staying in the divine realm is too boring. Come down and have some fun. Although eternal life is good, if there is no joy, there is only loneliness and pain left. You should be able to understand this. Jiang Chen remembers that it was mentioned in the original work that although Moon was strong, he also liked to disguise himself as a bad old man and lie downstairs in the student dormitory, feeling the vitality from the new students. If he were to stay alone in the Sea God Pavilion, Moon might not be able to survive until now. Although I am different from you, I do understand. What do you want to do within the college? Moon asked again. Nature is to be an ordinary student and experience joy that I have never experienced before. Don't worry, I won't do anything that would harm Shrek College. I have some discretion about this. Jiang Chen knew that Moon was trying to test him. That being the case, I won't ask too much. I wish you a happy college life in the future. Moon stopped downstairs in the student dormitory and respectfully arched his hand at Jiang Chen. Well, goodbye. Jiang Chen didn't stop, just responded. He walked straight into the dormitory building and opened the door of dormitory 109. As soon as I opened the door, I saw a murky air rushing towards me. The dormitory seemed as if it had never been cleaned before, with dust everywhere. However, this cannot be difficult for Jiang Chen. At this point, the function of possessing divine power can be demonstrated. Divine skill. Purify fire. A milky white spark appeared on Jiang Chen's index finger, which was formed by the convergence of divine power and could burn down all unclean things in the world. It was the best means to fight against those evil gods. Of course, it is also a good hand for cleaning rooms. With a gentle wave of Jiang Chen's index finger, the pure fire instantly engulfed the entire room. Under his divine control, not only was the turbid air purified, but even various dust and spider webs were burned clean. The room and furniture were unharmed, and the whole room seemed brand new. This is just enough to barely catch the eye. Jiang Chen looked at the dormitory with satisfaction, nodded, and immediately lay down on a bed next to it without hesitation. Although it was just a wooden bed, in Jiang Chen's eyes, it was 10,000 times better than the divine realm. He was filled with thoughts of what he wanted to do in the future, and his mood was particularly relaxed. By the way, system, open the system store. The system mentioned the mall before, but Jiang Chen hasn't looked it carefully yet. Ding. The mall has opened, please host to purchase. The next second, 10 products with pictures and annotations appeared in front of Jiang Chen. Looking at what was above, Jiang Chen was a bit dumbfounded. Zhu Xian Sword Formation. The first killing formation in ancient times, with unstoppable killing energy and power, price. 3 million points. Zhanxian Flying Dagger. Baby, please turn around, price. 250,000 points. Ding 2 7 Arrows Book. The most terrifying and vicious forbidden technique, killing invisibly, the selling price is 250,000 points. 24 Ding Hai Pearl. It can emit 5-colored light, dazzle the enemy's spiritual sense, and has tremendous power like the power of the 4 seas, the selling price is 2 million points. The items on top are all treasures from the era of the gods, and they are all unparalleled treasures that can be killed. However, most importantly, Jiang Chen cannot afford any of these items. The prices of the things above are outrageously high. In comparison, his meager 100 points are simply not worth it. System, isn't there anything I can buy now? Ding. Searching the mall, please wait for the host. Creaking before the system mall's panel could refresh again, teenager pushed open the door and walked in. He has blonde hair, a beautiful appearance, fair skin, and a pair of big eyes that are very special. His handsome level is even comparable to Jiang Chen. He first glanced at Jiang Chen, then looked around the room, nodded, and sat quietly on his bed, starting to pack his luggage. Female, there is no doubt about this. Jiang Chen could tell at a glance that she was not a man. End of this chapter. Chapter 3. Dare not to cause trouble is a mediocre person. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Dare not to cause trouble is a mediocre person. Is this a very new trend? Do people nowadays like to dress up as men and enroll in school? By the way, this is Douluo continent, it seems normal. After all, Douluo too even has things like Ning Tian and Wu Feng, let alone the little tricks of dressing up as a man. Jiang briefly sorted out the thoughts in his mind and then moved his gaze away. Although Jiang knew that this new roommate was a woman, he didn't have much interest in her. After all, she's a tomboy. If she can dress up like this, she can naturally see her feet when she lowers her head. Jiang is not particularly cold about this type of person. He shifted his attention back to the system mall. At this moment, the system mall has once again been successfully refreshed, and some very affordable products have also appeared in front of Jiang. Anti-tank hand grenades, price 10 points. M16 automatic rifle, with 100 bullets attached, the selling price is 10 points. Blue fire Gatling, with 2,000 bullets, the selling price is 100 points. T-15 tank, with 10 shells and driver's manual, the selling price is 200 points. F/EP1-10, with driver's manual attached, the selling price is 200 points. On this panel, there are almost all modern weapons, and all of them are highly lethal. Okay, system, you really have everything here. From the world of function cultivation to the modern world of Blue Star, you never let go of any of them. Jiang never expected that he could still see these things on the Douluo continent. Ding! Only the host can't think of it, without the system mall, it can't be found. Good job, Jiang applauds for it. The next second, Jiang decisively shut down the system mall function. His points are too low now. He can't use any of those modern weapons anymore, he has divine power. Why do he need a grenade? Jiang is now a walking nuclear bomb, and if he explodes, the entire Douluo continent may be destroyed as a result. Let's save up more points before we talk, maybe we can really find something good from here in the future. The next morning, Jiang woke up from the bed in the dormitory, and as soon as he opened his eyes, he saw the roommate from yesterday carefully reading the book in his hand. That is a complete collection of soul beasts, which detailed all the soul beasts currently on the entire continent. Jiang saw that she was reading carefully, so he didn't bother him and simply got up to wash up. Ding! Beginner Task 2. Please complete the topic assigned by the teacher today. Task completion reward. Soul power increased by 10 levels, task failure penalty. Erase the host today's topic. Listening to the system prompt sound in his mind, Jiang suddenly remembered. He was assigned to a class, and according to the plot in the original work, isn't today's topic about running 100 laps around the playground? This kind of training is just a piece of cake for Jiang, it's not worth mentioning at all. However, regarding this point, it reminded Jiang of another question. He turned to his roommate and said, I suggest you go to the classroom early. You can wait until you come back to read that kind of book. The homeroom teacher of class 1 is Zhou Yi. If he goes late, this guy will be fired directly. If the system didn't mention it, Jiang would have really forgotten about it. My roommate responded and immediately placed the book in their hand on the bedside table, getting up and looking at Jiang. Seeing this, Jiang nodded and turned around, pushing open the door and walking towards the classroom of class 1. Although Jiang has never been here before, fortunately there are signs along the way, so he won't get lost. Soon, the two of them arrived in the classroom. As soon as they entered, Jiang and her roommates immediately caught the attention of the whole class. Their appearance is top-notch in the entire school, so it's inevitable to be watched and watched. Jiang didn't pay much attention to these things. He casually found a seat and sat down, while his roommate followed Jiang and sat next to him. The two of them didn't come early, and the classroom was basically filled with people. Jiang briefly scanned everyone in the classroom and soon found Hu Yuhao and Wang Dong, Tang Wudong. I recognized Wang Dong because she had the divine power left by Tang San, and Hui Yuhao because he knew the heavenly dream ice silkworm in the sea. Although others may not be able to see these two different energies from ordinary people, Jiang Chen, as the main god, can see them at a glance. However, just as Jiang Chen saw the two of them, they were also looking at Jiang Chen. It seems a bit familiar to me. Have I seen this guy somewhere before? Wang Dong looked at Jiang Chen and carefully searched in his mind. Zaya Hyozi, that guy is not easy. He's a monster, you must remember to stay away from him. When he just looked at you, I always felt like he wasn't looking at you, but at me Tianmeng Ice Silkworm warned very cautiously. Although this kind of thing shouldn't have happened, Tianmeng Ice Silkworm has this feeling. Okay, Tianmeng, I remember. Hui Yuhao responded. Meanwhile, Hui Yuhao also began to pay attention to Jiang Chen. Creaking suddenly, an old woman pushed open the door of the classroom and walked in. Her appearance immediately caught the attention of the whole class and interrupted the thoughts of Hui Yuhao and Wang Dong. My name is Zhou Yi, and I am your homeroom teacher. I'm not sure how many of you can walk with me through the next year, but what I want to tell you is that in my class, no garbage can pass the assessment. What I want to cultivate is monsters, not fools. This teacher Zhou's voice is a very unpleasant hoarse, like a broken gong. After listening to her words, many students showed signs of anger on their faces. The students who can pass the assessment and become Shrek Academy are carefully selected by various countries in mainland China. Among their peers, they are definitely considered elites, but in the words of this teacher Zhou, they have become garbage and fools. Jiang Chen was very calm, and he clearly didn't take what Zhou Yi said to heart. Those who have fought in the past few days have stood up. Zhou Yi's next sentence once again shocked the whole class. These students have just been admitted. Who would fight in the college if it's okay? Even if they do, who would admit it? Just as the whole class remained silent, Hui Yuhao and Wang Dong stood up. Among the 100 students in the class, only the two of them stood up and immediately became the focus of attention as if they stood out from the crowd. Just two. Zhou Yi raised her eyebrows. What a bunch of trash. Don't you know what it means to be mediocre and not dare to cause trouble? Except for the two of them, everyone else should go out and run 100 laps around Shrek Square. Whoever can't finish running, they'll be fired directly. As soon as these words were spoken, the whole class was in an uproar. It was only the first day of school and the class had not started yet. Unexpectedly, he would be punished for not fighting. Who can be convinced? Ha! Jiang Chen burst out laughing. Daring not cause trouble is mediocre. I have always wanted to know why this nonsense doesn't make sense, and why is it that you have adopted it as an edict? If being obedient to oneself means being mediocre, then do you have to stir up trouble and harm one side everywhere in order to become the genius you speak of? Are mediocre people afraid to cause trouble? Humph. This is just an excuse for bullying the weak. If that's the case, then why didn't Fran and Shrek, the 7 monsters, dare to cause trouble in front of Douluo back then? When faced with strong people, just endure until the end, and when you see weaker ones, mediocrity dares not cause trouble. It's really ridiculous. End of this chapter. Chapter 4. Divine Power. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4 Divine Power. Jiang Chen's words immediately caught the attention of the whole class, and Zhou Yi also looked at Jiang Chen at this moment. Her face turned pale with iron, and 6 soul rings slowly rose under her feet, enveloping her. A strong soul pressure immediately spread around her, pressing down on every student in the class. However, Jiang Chen did not feel any discomfort, and his roommates beside him did not feel anything. What were you saying just now? If you have the courage, repeat it again. At this moment, Zhou Yi was already in a state of anger, and behind her was a majestic flame burning faintly. Ha! Jiang Chen raised the corner of his mouth and looked at Zhou Yi calmly before speaking again. I mean, I've always wanted to know why this nonsense doesn't make sense. Why did you make it your holy decree? If being obedient to oneself means being mediocre, then is it necessary to stir up trouble everywhere and harm one side in order to become the genius you call? I repeated it, how about it? Jiang Chen has been thinking about roast for a long time, and has been thinking about roast for a long time. Ha ha ha. Zhou Yi laughed back angrily, her laughter both gloomy and terrifying. Okay. You have the guts. However, I hope you also have the ability to match it, don't die too fast. As soon as the words fell, Zhou Yi's figure suddenly disappeared from the podium. The next second, she appeared in front of Jiang Chen, her right hand turned into a fist, wrapped in strong soul power, and smashed it towards Jiang Chen's head. Although she has a good personality, she never allows anyone to insult Shrek Academy. That sentence just now was said by Fran. Insulting him is equivalent to insulting Shrek Academy, which Zhou Yi absolutely cannot tolerate. But she obviously got the wrong person wrong. Before her attack could fall, a flame barrier suddenly appeared around Jiang Chen's body. In just an instant, it shook Zhou Yi away and hit the blackboard. At this moment, her right hand was also scorched red by the flames of the barrier, and an indescribable burning sensation was spreading upwards along her palm. Soul Guide, are you from the Sun and Moon Empire? Zhou Yi suppressed the pain in her right arm and glared fiercely at Jiang Chen. When she attacked just now, she didn't feel any soul power fluctuations on Jiang Chen's body, but she was still shaken away by a sudden appearance of a soul skill. For this phenomenon, Zhou Yi's mind only thought of one possibility, which was that Jiang Chen had a high-level soul guide on his body. And the soul guide that can cause harm to her, the Soul Emperor, is at least a 7th level or higher soul guide. But in fact, just now Jiang Chen only released a little bit of the fire god's power. If it weren't for controlling the power, Zhou Yi would have died here just now. But how would these other people know? Upon hearing Zhou Yi say that Jiang Chen was from the Sun and Moon Empire, all the students around stared at him with indignation on their faces. But before they could take any action, they saw a figure in a white robe floating in from the classroom door, and it was Mun. He had just sensed Jiang Chen's breath, and just to be on the safe side, he hurriedly rushed over. Mu Lao. Zhou Yi looked at Mu'en with a shocked expression on her face. She didn't expect that such a thing would attract Mu'en's attention. But Moon didn't even glance at Zhou Yi. He looked straight at Jiang Chen and asked, "What happened here?" It is obvious that he is questioning Jiang Chen. He remembered that Jiang Chen had said that he would not do anything to harm Shrek Academy. He was arguing with Teacher Zhou just now, but Teacher Zhou suddenly took action against him, and the result turned out to be like this. Before Jiang Chen could answer, his roommate stood up and helped Jiang Chen explain. Upon hearing this, Moon frowned and said, "Debate. How intense was the debate that led to this? Mu Lao, do you really mean that being obedient to oneself can only be mediocre? Do those so-called geniuses have to cause trouble everywhere? It's mediocre people who dare not cause trouble. I'm wrong when I say this. Do you think what I said is right?" Jiang Chen looked at Mu'en and asked 3 questions in unison. He was very curious about Mu'en's answer, and he would react based on Mu'en's answer. If Mu'en says it's wrong, then Jiang Chen will also come to cause trouble. He became a god at the age of 20. Anyway, he shouldn't be classified as a mediocre person, should he? If one must cause trouble to be considered a genius, then Jiang Chen is also willing to cause some trouble to prove himself. I think. Mu'en stared into Jiang Chen's eyes, his brain racing, and paused for a while before he replied, "You're right." Ha! Jiang Chen smiled again. He quickly stood up and then turned to his roommate beside him, asking, "I want to go for a run, and you?" My roommate's face was filled with doubts, obviously a bit confused about what Jiang Chen meant now. "I just want to debate with Teacher Zhou." Now that the debate is over, I naturally need to complete the assessment set by the teacher. Well, 1 hour, there's not much time left now. After speaking, Jiang didn't care how his roommates chose, so he walked out of the classroom and towards the playground on his own. Seeing this, the roommate also reacted, as if he had followed in Jiang footsteps. Their behavior was taken aback by the rest of the class, and they didn't know what to do for a moment. Suddenly, Zhou Yi stood up, still with a stern face, shouting loudly at the whole class, "What are you still waiting for? Do you all want to be fired? Why don't you go for a run?" Upon hearing this, everyone in the first class took action. Everyone, including Hu Yuhao and Wang Dong, walked out of the classroom and ran towards the playground. Soon, only Moon and Zhou Yi were left in the classroom. The two exchanged a glance across the air, creating an awkward atmosphere. "You're too impulsive," Mun said first, looking at Zhou Yi expressionlessly and accusing, "No matter what, you shouldn't act on the students, even if they say something they shouldn't say." "Yes, I was impulsive." Zhou Yi nodded, and now she had fully tasted the lesson of impulse. At this moment, her right arm was getting redder and the burning sensation was becoming stronger. Moon glanced at her arm and let out a helpless sigh. "Your injury cannot be resolved by others. Later, I will help you call him back and relieve your pain. Before that, you should endure it, which is also a way to remember this lesson." Upon hearing this, Zhou Yi frowned. "Can't solve it. Well, the levels of power are different. Jiang power is divine, which is vastly different from soul power. With ordinary healing soul masters, there is no way." "Who is he?" "Exactly." Zhou Yi didn't realize it before, but judging from the conversation between Jiang and Mu Wen just now, Jiang identity is definitely not simple. Otherwise, how could a strong person like Moon care about the emotions of a younger generation? It's better if you don't know about this kind of thing, and don't inquire. Moon gave Zhou Yi a serious look and warned. "You can't afford the consequences." End of this chapter. Chapter 5. My name is Renjue. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. My name is Renjue. Playground. My roommate followed Jiang and stared at him blankly, saying, "You're really a weirdo." "Oh. Really? Where did you start?" Jiang doesn't think he's weird, he just likes to express his thoughts. It's just because he has enough strength that he doesn't need to judge the situation. This may seem strange in the eyes of others, but in Jiang eyes, this is the true him. No one would go against the homeroom teacher for the sake of momentary anger, and since you are from the Sun and Moon Empire, you should not expose yourself. But it's strange that you did both things, isn't it? My roommate also has his own secret, which is why he thinks Jiang actions are strange. Firstly, I am not a member of the Sun and Moon Empire. That is my own method, of course, it is a secret, so don't ask too much. Secondly, no one does it, and no one dares to do it, are two different things. It can only be said that I am a bit braver than both of them. Jiang answered quickly and logically, which lit up a small star in the eyes of his roommates. My name is Renjue. What is your name? Qianren asked curiously. 1,000 steps away. Jiang turned his head and glanced at Renjue beside him, feeling somewhat surprised. However, he quickly calmed down his emotions and smiled. My name is Jiang. Although it may just be a coincidence, he still reminded Jiang of an old friend. As for whether it was her descendant or not, Jiang wanted to wait for her to uncover the mystery on her own. If he punctures it now, it won't be interesting. Suddenly, Moon's voice rang out in Jiang mind. It's a bit presumptuous, but could you please come over? Zhou Yi can't hold on for long. Upon hearing this, Jiang smiled apologetically and said, I'm sorry, I have something else to deal with, so I won't wait for you. Renjue nodded. But just the next second after she answered, a faint red light appeared on Jiang Chen's body, and his speed also rapidly improved afterwards. In just the blink of an eye, Jiang Chen disappeared from her sight. He is indeed a strange person. I can't feel the fluctuation of soul power at all, Renjue muttered to himself. Quickly, Jiang Chen finished the 100 laps required by the course and returned to the classroom. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully completing the system task, rewarding a 10-level increase in soul power. Ding! Reward distribution failed. The reward has been automatically converted into system mall points for you. The total number of points is now 200. Jiang Chen ignored the system's warning sound and walked straight to Zhou Yi, who had collapsed to the ground beside the podium. He gently waved his hand, and a faint red light flew out of Zhou Yi's body and returned to Jiang Chen's body. Alright, it's okay. Next time, let her stop being so impulsive, otherwise she will harm herself sooner or later. Jiang Chen does not dislike Zhou Yi. He is well aware that this guy is a good teacher. Although he is stricter with his students, he is also very protective. The reason for taking action against Jiang Chen is entirely because Shrek College's brainwashing work was done well, making them all crazy about it. Well, you're right. Mun responded. The afternoon class continued as usual, just like in the original work, except for running circles. After Zhou Yi recovered, she immediately disguised herself as a strict old lady, and vented her anger crazily towards the students who were cheating and playing tricks. After the farce in the morning, Zhou Yi never dared to trouble Jiang Chen again, but because of the phrase, "You are a person of the Sun and Moon Empire," the classmates in the class hated Jiang Chen. Of course, except for Renjue. Jiang Chen is also too lazy to explain. Anyway, there is not one he likes in this class. They don't like to see Jiang Chen, and Jiang Chen is too lazy to see them. So, until the training course ended in the afternoon, Jiang Chen only said a few words to Renjue. Alright, today's class is over, and the training will continue tomorrow. After Zhou Yi finished speaking, she turned around and left, and all the students began to move freely. Most of them wanted to go back to the dormitory to rest or take a shower to relax. But Jiang Chen didn't even sweat the whole time and didn't feel tired at all, so he decided to take another stroll inside the college. Aren't you going back to the dormitory? Renjue walked up to Jiang Chen's side and asked. Well, I'm not tired. I'm planning to take a stroll around the college. Do you want to come with me? Another crucial reason why Jiang Chen did not go back is Ma Xiaotao. If Jiang Chen remembers correctly, Ma Xiaotao should be caught in a raging fire tomorrow morning, and she will appear at the edge of the sea god Hu. Jiang Chen plans to go there and wait for her. In the original work, the scene of Ma Xiaotao's rampage was solved by Tianmeng Ice Silkworm, and Ma Xiaotao also had a good impression of Hu Yuhao. There was also a classic scene that was not suitable for children. Short and powerless. If Jiang Chen were to take care of Ma Xiaotao, it wouldn't be this evaluation. Of course, Jiang Chen is not in such a hurry either. He just wants to take this opportunity to get to know Ma Xiaotao, and he can also help Ma Xiaotao. With his divine power as the god of fire, it is easy to completely purify Ma Xiaotao's flames, which can also prevent the conspiracy of the Holy Spirit Church from succeeding in the future. Well, benefiting people, benefiting oneself, and benefiting the people, one arrow can kill 3 birds. No, I'll go back first. Renjue shook her head. She was different from Jiang Chen. After a long period of physical fitness training, she has already sweated profusely and her clothes have been soaked in sweat. Well, goodbye then. If there's anything, you can come to Haishan Lake to find me. After speaking, Jiang Chen turned around and walked towards Haishan Lake. But shortly after he separated from Renjue, a human figure suddenly appeared before his eyes. It's Wang Dong, also known as Tang Wudong. Since the first time she saw Jiang Chen, she had always felt that he was somewhat familiar, especially when Jiang Chen and Zhou Yi started fighting. she became more certain of her own conjecture. She definitely met Jiang Chen. Who are you? Why do I always think you're familiar with me? Are you from Haoshan Bao? The latter half of the sentence, Wang Dong did not ask, but if it were someone she was familiar with, she probably wouldn't need to say it. Well, it's a clumsy way to approach someone, but considering your good looks, I can tell you my name. What's going on? Do you want to meet me? Jiang Chen smiled and looked at Wang Dong teasingly. Wang Dong was momentarily stunned, then his eyes slowly widened. Who's talking to you? Besides, aren't you just called Jiang Chen? Are we classmates? Okay. You see, don't you know who I am? Why do you still ask? Jiang Chen asked in reverse. You. Wang Dong was confused by Jiang Chen's words, and she swallowed what she wanted to say in her heart, then gave Jiang Chen a fierce glare. If you don't say it, I'll know sooner or later. End of this chapter. Chapter 6. First meeting of Jiang Nannan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. First meeting of Jiang Nannan. Jiang Chen and Wang Dong naturally knew each other, but when Jiang Chen met Wang Dong, she was still very young. At that time, it was still because of Rongyan Bing that Jiang Chen and Wang Dongyuan exchanged a distant glance, but that was all. That's why Jiang Chenming knew that Wang Dong was in this college, but he didn't change his appearance. He knew that Wang Dong couldn't recognize him, and even if he did, what could he do? Wang Dong himself also sneaked down to play, they are both the same. Can Wang Dong still self-destruct and report it to him? It doesn't seem impossible either. Is there anything in the system and mall that can help me improve my current strength? It's better to have something that can be instantly killed without considering the opponent's strength. Jiang Chen still needs to be cautious. In case Tang San comes down and catches him, he must have something to deal with him. Jiang Chen vowed not to return to the divine realm until he found a suitable partner. What? Why don't you just search in the divine realm? Are you joking? Do you think Jiang Chen hasn't tried before? Most of the goddesses in the divine realm are married women. Last time, he was almost destroyed by the god of destruction for teasing the goddess of life. Haha, just kidding, Jiang Chen is not that foolish yet, just giving an example. Moreover, the goddesses who ascend are basically the same. For details, please refer to Bibidong and Qian Renjue in Douluo 1. But Jiang Chen really couldn't arouse any interest. If he could solve the problem in the divine realm, Jiang Chen wouldn't have complained so much at the beginning. Ding. Searching in progress. Please wait, host. By the way, if I can afford it now, don't give me that whole $1 million thing again. Ding. The search is complete, and there are no items that the host wants. Good guy, what does this mean? There are many things to search for, but none of them Jiang Chen can afford, right? Can you show me what the cheapest price is? Ding. The system search was successful, please check the host. With the sound of the system falling, a picture and introduction appeared in front of Jiang Chen. That is a large brush, with a stem that seems to have been soaked in blood, incredibly red, and covered in various strange and incomprehensible words. The introduction reads as follows. Judge's Pen, Disposable Edition. Skyward Talisman, depicting who dies, containing the true meaning of the rules of death as an unparalleled magical tool, price 10,000 points. Judge's Pen. It's a bit interesting, but the price is still a bit high, and it's a disposable item. However, for now, this is indeed the best thing to deal with Tang San at present. This is still a treasure that Jiang Chen can encounter but cannot seek, but as for points, there will always be squeezing and squeezing. Anyway, I've taken note of this thing. Let's talk about it if there's a chance in the future. Now let's go and take a look at Haishan Lake first. After speaking, Jiang Chen closed the interface of the system mall and continued walking towards Haishan Lake. The Sea God Lake is not far from the teaching building. Passing through Shrek Square and walking along the lakeside path, a sparkling Sea God Lake appeared before Jiang Chen's eyes. Although Haishan Lake is just an artificial lake, its water is extremely clear. The pure and deep blue color of the lake is also gentle and elegant. On the blue brocade-like surface of the lake, there is a layer of slight ripples undulating, like the graceful autumn waves of a little girl, reflecting the reflection of the blue sky and white clouds and the shaded green trees by the lake. Not bad. Jiang Chen has become accustomed to the beautiful scenery of the divine realm. Although this Sea God Lake cannot compare to the scenery of the divine realm, it can still be considered a good place to relax and unwind. However, at this moment, there is another beautiful sight that attracts Jiang Chen's attention more than Haishan Lake, which is a golden-haired figure beside the lake. Jiang Nannan. Jiang Chen can confirm that this must be the one mentioned in the original work. She looked only 14 or 5 years old, with a slender and symmetrical figure. Her long golden hair was flowing in large waves at the back of her head, her skin was snowy, and her eyes were like a clear stream of water. When she looked around, she had a refined and elegant temperament. Her complexion is like jade, like a new moon blooming with halos, like flowers and trees piled up with snow. She is gentle and graceful, charming in language, and delicate and graceful, yet her beauty is beyond measure. Jiang Chen thought the description in the novel was a bit exaggerated, but now when he sees it, he feels that he is even more beautiful than the description in the novel. No wonder that guy Su Sancher is doing things for her. I forgot to consider this before. Just being good-looking doesn't work, and my temper needs to be in line with my appetite. Otherwise, soaking it back would be like offering it as a bodhisattva and queen mother, with no fun at all. Moreover, Su Sancher is quite pitiful. Well, Jiang Chen decided to remove Jiang Nannan from his hunting list. This kind of bodhisattva should be left to Su Sancher to lick, but Jiang Chen decided not to. Thinking of this, Jiang Chen also averted his gaze from Jiang Nannan and turned to the nearby lake view. However, what Jiang Chen didn't know was that just as his gaze turned away, Jiang Nannan's gaze shifted from the lake's surface to him. The reason is nothing but simple curiosity. After all, Jiang Chen doesn't look like a freshman in first grade. Jiang Chen became a god at the age of 20, and his appearance and body also froze at that moment. Compared to those genuine 12-year-olds, he did look much more mature. More importantly, Jiang Nannan found that she couldn't even detect Jiang Chen's soul power level, and she couldn't feel any soul power fluctuations from Jiang Chen. This made Jiang Nannan a little curious, to the extent that she was a bit confused for a moment. Haven't you seen enough yet? Jiang Chen still looked at the lake, but the words were meant for Jiang Nannan to listen to. As soon as these words were spoken, Jiang Nannan was somewhat stunned. This is usually what she says to others, but I didn't expect someone else to say it to her today. Besides, being stared at by such a peerless beauty like myself, even if most people discover it, they should pretend not to see it, right? At this moment, Jiang Nannan thought a lot, but she quickly realized it too. Sorry, I'm just a little curious. Jiang Nannan apologized very consciously. After all, it was she who disturbed the others. It's okay. Jiang Chen waved his hand, but his gaze remained on the lake's surface, not looking at Jiang Nannan. I want to ask. Jiang Nannan wanted to say something more, but saw several girls wearing purple school uniforms walking out of the lakeside path. They were Jiang Nannan's friends. Nannan. We've been looking for you for a long time. What are you doing here? Nannan, come shopping with us. I have another amazing melon to share with you. As they spoke, a few people waved at Jiang Nannan, gesturing for her to come over. Seeing this, Jiang Nannan could only suppress the doubts in her heart and say, okay. She walked quickly to several of her best friends and followed them towards the outside of the college. Nan, did you know that something big happened in first grade today? I heard my first grade sister say that a student in her class beat up the class teacher at the Soul Emperor level, and she is also a Sun and Moon Empire person. Just starting school, before the class is even started, he beat up his homeroom teacher. Do you think the Empire of Sun and Moon is so arrogant these days? I don't know how he got in either. Can the Empire of Sun and Moon enroll in Shrek? I don't know, should I? But it doesn't seem like it's written on the school rules either. Alright, that's not important. What's important is that my sister also said that the student is particularly handsome. He looks very mature, not like a teenager of 11 or 12, and his demeanor looks very noble. There is a beauty of unparalleled young master. Hey, really? I really want to see it. By the way, was there a handsome guy by the lake who I hadn't seen before? My best friend was chatting with me one by one, but Jiang Nannan was a bit absent-minded. Listening to their descriptions, she always felt that the person was Jiang Chen. But now she feels embarrassed to go back and ask directly, which is too impolite. Let's ask again next time we meet. End of this chapter. Chapter 7. Purification of Evil Fire. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This translator is experiencing an error, please try another translator. Chapter 8, this first one, I'm going to make it. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The source has no content or has errors. Chapter 9. One Punch, One Child. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. One Punch, One Child. The observation deck in the first assessment area. At this moment, the homeroom teachers of each class are observing the opponents their students are facing. Yo Teacher Zhou, your group of students is really unlucky to have met the seated contestant in our class from the beginning. It seems that our class will be the first to help you eliminate a group of students. A female teacher in her 30s walked up to Zhou Yi and smiled. Zhou Yi glanced at her indifferently and said, Hibiscus, do you think you're going to win? Isn't that right? Hibiscus asked in reverse, I checked and found that there aren't many geniuses in your class. There aren't any soul masters at level 30 or above, right? The only one who is more famous is the Sun and Moon Empire person, but unfortunately, this new student's assessment doesn't allow the use of soul guides. Hibiscus has Ningtian, the genius soul master of the Seven Treasures Glass sect, sitting here. She really can't think of how to lose. Ha, Zhou Yi smiled, who told you that he was using a soul guide at the time? I made a slip of the tongue, are you really serious? Upon hearing this, Hibiscus paused for a moment, then furrowed her brows, and an unrealistic idea emerged in her mind. She didn't pay attention to Zhou Yi anymore, but instead turned her gaze to the assessment area below. At the same time, Jiang Chen, Ning Tian, and 6 others have also prepared for battle. As the referee's words fell, Wu Feng rushed forward first. Her left arm was covered with a layer of red dragon scales and she hammered straight towards Jiang Chen. I'll. Qian Renjue's first idea was to stop Wu Feng on his own and let Jiang Chen handle the big trouble of Ning Tian. But before she could finish speaking, Jiang Chen pressed her behind her with one hand. Immediately after, Jiang Chen waved his right fist and met Wu Feng's fist without summoning the martial soul. Ha ha ha, isn't this looking for death? How could it be possible to catch this punch without even using a martial soul on the side? Lu Taizhu couldn't help but want to laugh when he saw this behind the scenes. The referee on the arena was also thinking about whether to directly intervene and stop the two of them. After all, if they were punched, their right hand might be completely useless. Bang! But just as they were still thinking, a piercing sound of breaking through the air echoed from the arena. The next second, at the moment when Wu Feng collided with Jiang Chen's fist, he was thrown out of the arena and even smashed a small pit on the ground. What? On the observation deck, Hibiscus suddenly widened her eyes, filled with disbelief. No way, I have to go down now. Why did that kid act lightly? On the side, Teacher Li, who was in charge of treatment, jumped directly from the observation seat. Wu Feng has lost consciousness and can be considered as directly eliminated. Zhou Yi. Who the hell is he? How could this power be possessed by a first-grade student? Hibiscus grabbed Zhou Yi's collar and asked in question. At the same time, as a first-year student, you don't need to use your martial soul to take someone else's fist, which is already very strong. But you just threw someone out with a hammer and knocked them unconscious, which is too much, right? Questioning me. Hibiscus, you don't have the qualifications yet. Also, you should first care about your other two students. Zhou Yi slapped open Hibiscus' hand and angrily replied. She also wanted to say it, but she didn't know Jiang Chen's background. How would she say it? And Zhou Yi's words also reminded Hibiscus, and she quickly turned her head to look at the arena again. At this moment, Ning Tian's side is completely panicked. None of them expected such a result. Now that there is no Wu Feng in the front row, how will the rest of them deal with Jiang Chen, this monster? Tisk. Ning Tian gritted his teeth and said, 7 treasures turn out with glass. 1 is speed. 3 is strength. Yun'er. Ning Tian gave all the increase to Nangong Yun'er on the side, and now she is the last hope for the whole team. Although Nangong Yun'er is only a sensitive attack type soul master, with the increase of Ning Tian, her power will never be less than that of Wu Feng. Ning Tian only hopes that Nangong Yun'er can leverage the advantage of being a sensitive attack type soul master, constantly harassing Jiang Chen and causing harm to him while ensuring his own safety. Don't worry. I know. Nangong Yun'er was also very aware of her current situation. She immediately shook her wings behind her and transformed into a blue light flying towards Jiang Chen. A light blue light curtain appeared on her right hand, like a guillotine, which was her first soul skill. She didn't act foolishly like Wu Feng, she kept circling around Jiang Chen, bringing out dazzling shadows. Jiang Chen is too dangerous. She seems to be trying to confuse Jiang Chen's vision before launching an attack on him. But suddenly, Jiang Chen disappeared from her sight and grabbed her neck from behind Nangong Yun'er in the next second. This whole set of movements flows smoothly and seamlessly, leaving people with no time to react. How could this be possible? Nangong Yun'er couldn't believe it. After exclaiming, she immediately wanted to break free. But the next second, she was thrown out of the arena like garbage by Jiang Chen and fell to the side of the ground. Now, Nangong Yun'er has also been eliminated, leaving only Ning Tian as the opponent on the field. Are you going down by yourself, or should I see you off? Jiang Chen looked at Ning Tian indifferently and asked. Upon hearing this, although Ning Tian was very unwilling, he could only clench his fist tightly and quickly walked off the arena. At this point, Jiang Chen's first assessment is announced to have passed. I announce that in this assessment, Class 1 will receive. The referee on the arena was about to announce the result, but Hibiscus jumped off the observation deck and shouted, "Wait! He cheated!" Hibiscus ran straight to the arena, pointed at Jiang Chen and said, "This assessment cannot be counted. He used a soul guide and violated the rules." As soon as these words were spoken, the teacher in the observation seat and Ning Tian, who had just failed, both showed a surprised expression. How dare Jiang Chen cheat in public? Violation of assessment rules. He must have used a soul guide. Otherwise, how could he have such great strength? Speak up. Did you use a soul guide at this moment? Hibiscus was like a raging Tyrannosaurus Rex, charging vigorously at Jiang Chenji in asking. She couldn't accept it no matter what. Her winning team was about to be eliminated without even winning a game. The difference is really too big. I am born with divine power, can't I? Besides, have you ever seen a soul guide that can be activated without soul power and only enhances power? Jiang Chen looked at Hibiscus indifferently and asked in reverse. Upon hearing this, Hibiscus was also stuttered with words. Indeed, even if you need to use a soul guide, you still need to use soul power, but anyone with discerning eyes just now knew that Jiang Chen had not used any soul power. Humph. Did someone use it off the field in advance? Besides, aren't you from the Sun and Moon Empire? Who knows if you have that kind of soul guide? Hibiscus still didn't give up, even though she felt her words were a bit far-fetched. She firmly believed that Jiang Chen must have cheated. Since you are so confident that I used a soul guide, will you also come and try the power of this soul guide? Jiang Chen now understands, what's the cost? Shouldn't he be good to just do it? This is already a world where a fist is the truth. What did he spend so much time talking about? With one punch, is it you're the final say? End of this chapter. Do you want to become gods in chapter 10? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Do you want to become gods in chapter 10? Is he crazy? The same sentence appeared in the minds of all the teachers on the observation deck at the same time. Although Hibiscus has a bad temper and is jealous, she is also a genuine college teacher. Her strength is the same as Zhou Yi, but they are both genuine soul emperors. A new student who wants to play with a teacher who is the soul emperor is either crazy or really has a trump card. By the way, didn't it say before that Zhou Yi also suffered losses under this student? Does he really have any powerful soul guides? For a moment, they became curious and wanted to see how Jiang Chen would deal with Hibiscus. Except for Zhou Yi, who had seen Jiang Chen's strength before, although she still couldn't figure out what the means were. But she still knows very well that if the two really fight, Hibiscus is very likely to die. That's enough. Suddenly, an old voice rang out from the observation deck. When everyone heard the sound and looked, they saw an old man with white beard and hair, holding chicken legs, who appeared on the observation deck at some point. Xian Lao. Seeing the person coming, almost all the teachers bowed to Xuanzi's position at the same time. But Xuanzi ignored them and instead jumped onto the arena where Jiang Chen was. Xian Lao. Hibiscus didn't expect such a small matter to disturb Xuanzi. This is the elder of the Sea God Pavilion, and can be considered as the spokesperson of the entire Shrek Academy. Who let you interfere with the assessment process? Are you the assessment teacher in charge here? Xuanzi glared at the Hibiscus and asked angrily. But he. Facing Xuanzi's gaze, Hibiscus trembled with fear. She pointed trembling at Jiang Chen, wanting to say something, but hesitated and couldn't explain it clearly. But what? I'm right here. I don't know if Jiang Chen used a soul guide or not. Or do you think I might not be as good as you? Get lost. Now get back and write a 20,000-word review for me. If you can't write it well, you don't have to do it anymore. As soon as Xuanzi spoke these words, Hibiscus's face turned pale with fear, and she ran away without hesitation. And Xuanzi's words also clearly indicate that Jiang Chen did not use the soul guide, just now it was all his true strength. Alright, let's continue announcing the assessment results. Also, Xuanzi turned to look at Jiang Chen with a hint of awe in his eyes. Jiang Chen, come with me. Upon hearing this, Jiang Chen immediately understood. No wonder Xuanzi appeared to have a solution. Muwen's emotions were not strict, and he revealed his identity and strength. Okay. Jiang Chen nodded, but he didn't rush to leave. Instead, he turned his head to look at Qian Renjue behind him. Xiao Qian, you go back to the dormitory first, wait for me to come back. Qian Renjue nodded a bit, then watched as Jiang Chen and Xuanzi left his sight. By the shore of Haishan Lake. I'm sorry to bother you, Lord Fire God. It's just that I didn't show up in the situation just now, and it's really difficult to end. We will definitely avoid such incidents from happening in the future. As soon as he arrived, Xuanzi sincerely apologized to Jiang Chen. Sure enough. It was Moon who told you, right? I remember he promised me not to reveal my identity. Jiang Chen really just wants to be a low-key bully. If everyone knows about this, wouldn't it be much more difficult for him to pretend to be a bully? This is also an unavoidable thing. In order to avoid such a thing from happening today, Mu Lao can only do it this way. At present, the only ones who know your identity are me and Mr. Mu. Mu Lao has a special identity and still has injuries, making it inconvenient for him to appear frequently. With me here now, your actions within the college will also be much more convenient. Xuanzi was a bit nervous and spoke respectfully. After all, what stood in front of him was a true deity. Although he had never seen Jiang Chen take action, he believed what Moon said. Well, if only you know, it won't be much of a deal. However, it's better not to expose my identity as much as possible. I don't want too many people to know my identity. Upon hearing Xuanzi's words, Jiang Chen did not have any problems and did not intend to pursue them. This is nature. By the way, there is another thing I want to say about why I called you here. What are your plans for this new student assessment? After all, this concerns the future of some younger generations. If you're here, then. Xuanzi's intention is also very obvious. He wants Jiang Chen to restrain himself. The things that these young people are involved in are really beyond his limits when he comes over. But Jiang Chen can't do anything about it. The system insists that he install this kind of coercion. What can he do? It's easy to simply kill the host, and I don't know why it's so hardcore. There are many things that I can't explain to you, but I have to be the champion of this new student assessment. After the competition is over, I will give you a list. You just need to focus on arranging these people, and you won't bury those talents. Moreover, I don't bully them too much. I became a god at the age of 20, and at their age, I was already the sole king. Jiang Chen, like Tang San, was still a newborn baby when he crossed over. Tang San has been practicing Shen Gong since childhood, while Jiang Chen has been practicing Tai Chi since childhood. He has innate full soul power, while Jiang Chen has innate level 20 full soul power. In addition, Jiang Chen is a nobleman born in the Star Luo Empire. He has been practicing in the martial soul simulation training field since childhood, and he used his understanding of the Douluo continent to find many immortal herbs, which helped him achieve his goal of becoming a god at the age of 20. Unfortunately, Jiang Chen's parents died very early in this world, otherwise Jiang Chen would not have been alone in the divine realm. Becoming a god at the age of 20. You. No wonder you look so young. Xuanzi was shocked by Jiang Chen's words and couldn't bear it anymore. At the age of 20, he was still a teacher at Shrek College. The difference is really a bit too big. You too, don't use you to refer to me. Including the time I've spent in the divine realm, I'm only 44 years old now. You're probably more than 5 times my age, right? You all call me Lao Du, just call me Jiang Chen in the future. I don't have that much airs, I just want to play here well. Jiang Chen had already wanted to say that when Muan called him that, Jiang Chen thought he was going to bury him. Okay, we got it. Xuanzi nodded respectfully. By the way, do you want to become a god? Actually, becoming a god is quite simple. Instead of wasting your lifespan here, it's better for you to take a chance. Anyway, I'm here to help you guard the academy. Jiang Chen also knows several places where the divine throne is passed down. Although they are all second-level gods, they can at least ascend to the divine realm and live forever. It depends on whether they want it or not. Did you become a god? Xuanzi was a bit excited, but seemed to have thought of something and paused for a moment. Thank you very much for your kindness. I may need to go back and think about it. I'll get back to you with this question later. Saying you don't want to become a god is definitely false. Why did Xuanzi cultivate all the way to the present day? Nature is for climbing towards higher places. But now Moon is seriously injured, and the only top combat force in the Sea God Pavilion is him. He cannot leave, and he still has to guard these Shrek's future hopes. End of this chapter.